everybody. I'm excited to be live with UiPath at Microsoft Ignite with AI Evangelist. Joe, how are you?
I'm doing great. How are you, Evan?
I'm doing great. Congratulations on all the success at UiPath and a busy and exciting week at Ignite. Maybe before that, introduce yourself. And for those few people who don't know who UiPath is, introductions as well.
Sure. So, my name is Joe Edwards. I work on the product marketing team at UiPath. I've been with the company now for just over 6 years, and essentially, UiPath helps to automate the boring, mundane, repetitive parts of all of our jobs, the pieces of our work that we hate. So, over the last 6 years, I've been able to work across a bunch of different facets of the platform, everything from helping people to identify what to automate. Um, Academy, learning how to automate. And these days, I'm working with our product team to talk through our story around UiPath Autopilot, which is our generative AI assistant that helps people to automate more in their roles.
Yeah, it's an exciting week. You're hearing about how UiPath Autopilot and Microsoft Copilot are sort of the dynamic duo. So tell us how they work together or better together than on their own.
Yeah. So it's definitely a better together story, especially at Ignite. So we'll be sharing some demos of this in action. But essentially, a lot of uh, customers around the world, they're already team shops, right? Like your communications go through Teams. You're staying in touch with your team through Teams. And we were trying to give our customers a way to also loop in their automations into those conversations. So what our plugin does is it enables you to interact with your automations through Autopilot within either Teams or Copilot. So what that practically means is one central place to, again, have your conversations with your teams and pull in your automations dynamically as you need them.
Wow, fantastic opportunity. You've also got a session on agentic automation at Ignite. Maybe explain what that is and how you're making it kind of a game changer, especially with the other Microsoft technologies.
Yeah, so agentic automation is definitely the buzzword of the moment. And the cool thing about Autopilot is we call it our first agent. So it's the easiest way for our more than 10,000 customers to get started in the world of agents. And so you can either have Autopilot sit as a standalone application on your desktop, and you can interact with it in a similar way to what you might have experienced with like a chat GPT or a Claude. You can have natural language conversations with it, and the benefit of going with a more enterprise approach is you not only get the cool informational or brainstorming or help me draw a picture use cases that you can get from some of the other AI tools out there, but you can actually take action. So it's what do I do once I summarize this email in Copilot, for example, and being able to invoke Autopilot to actually help you to complete an action is where we come in.
Fantastic. And for those at Ignite, what are some of the demos, must-see experiences at the UiPath booth that they should check out? I think booth CG12.
Yes, yeah. We are just near the booth now. We'll be here all the days for Ignite. So yes, please feel free to stop by. You'll be able to see Autopilot in action within Teams, so you can see how it can pop up in a channel, in a conversation. Again, you get one control surface to have your conversations with your colleagues and your automations. And we're also going to be joined by a customer, Wesco, at our panel today. They have a really cool use case that leverages this integration to basically make it easier whenever a supplier has to make an update. So you have a supply chain use case, for example, and let's say that you're looking to figure out, do we already have this part? Your ERP might have tens of thousands of parts already, and you might not know, this new treadmill that came in. Do we already have this in the system? And so with the plugin and the Teams ecosystem, we're able to offer customers a way to, within Teams, ask Autopilot, do we already have this treadmill in the system? If so, identify it, share that part number with the team. But if not, you're also able to, again, complete downstream actions. So once you say that you want to add this new part in, Autopilot can handle the rest. So you don't have to worry about, alt tabbing over to SAP or your ERP of choice. You don't have to worry about going over to Excel. You can basically just add this new part directly from a Teams conversation, which is a huge time saver for customers.
Amazing. So more than just productivity, it really is making the whole workflow easier, and it's built right in. That's really exciting. How did that work behind the scenes? Maybe describe working with Microsoft on that integration and the partnership between UiPath and Microsoft.
Yeah, it's funny. When people first hear us describe Autopilot, they assume that it's competitive with Copilot, but
Hmm.
Microsoft has been a great partner in that regard. Like, they have basically said, we are leveraging Copilot to do some really cool informational use cases, things like, help me generate an email or help me summarize this email or help me pull in this information from across, the wide ranging Microsoft graph. But Microsoft has done a great job of building out an ecosystem of partners that help you to kind of build on those informational use cases and again take action. So once you summarize the email, what do you want to do with it? Um, how do you want it to connect to your ERP of choice? We like to say that automation is kind of the arms and legs of these AI assistants, and so Microsoft has been a great partner this last year working on the plugin, and we have some exciting enhancements coming to it as well.
Yeah, I bet you have an incredibly aggressive roadmap as always at UiPath, and I mean I think agentic automation has huge potential. Where do you see it going from here? From Microsoft Ignite onwards, is it really just an execution and delivery opportunity? What's next that keeps you up at night?
Yeah, so I think talking to our customers and partners, there's both a lot of promise that people are feeling. Certainly the productivity savings that agents can bring, but there's
Mm,
also a sense of peril too. And I think I wouldn't be a good evangelist if I didn't acknowledge the pluses and minuses of that. People want to know, how do you govern these agents? How do you ensure
mm.
that they are giving you the context grounded information that gives you the correct answer? And I think that our solution, that especially with Microsoft, has some great answers to that in terms of how you can govern your agents and use them at scale. But I also just want to acknowledge the fact that customers, certainly have worries even as they're hopeful. So I think over the next year, you'll see us not only present solutions that help, the core kind of chat experience. Autopilot's just going to be adding more and more capabilities, but we'll also continue to add features in terms of actually governing that. So how your agents can interact with information, what information are they allowed to access? How do you make sure that humans are always in the loop? So our product team has some great things on the roadmap in terms of the governance story for agents and ensuring that all of our customers across the Fortune 500 are comfortable trusting these new tools in the workplace.
That's a great point. I mean, I'm a user of UiPath automation and Teams at home, but I'm a three-person business. Not exactly the same issues when you scale it to 1,000, 5,000, 100,000 person business in terms of governance and data protection, privacy and security, all the topics you guys are focused on. How's the buzz on the floor at Ignite? I think we're day one,
Yeah,
but Microsoft is now become you're like the sun. We're all just sort of circling around these days. It must be an incredible buzz to be at Ignite at the moment with everything that's happening.
yeah, it's been pretty incredible to go from forward our automation conference that was a few weeks ago in Vegas to now Ignite, and there's definitely a huge buzz in the air around agents and automation, and yeah, I think there's over 10,000 people here total, so it's been an
Wow.
incredible just first day.
Yeah, it must be probably 10x that online watching and viewing, and not just on my channel, but
Yeah.
all the online remote channels. So, as an AI evangelist, you have your work cut out for you at Ignite this week. What's next before the busy head up to the year end? What are you most focused on closing the year out?
Well, one thing that's close to my heart is again helping people to see both the promise and peril of these solutions, and so
Mm,
in that area, as we're heading towards the end of the year, one project that I'm really excited about is UiPath.ai, which recently launched a suite of new demos, and um,
Wow.
we'll continue to add more as the year concludes. But basically, we want people to get a tangible sense of what tools like Autopilot enable, um, without having to set it up specifically for your organization and figure out your governance strategy and all that good stuff. But like just jump to the end. Show me what these tools can do. So some of the use cases I talked about today, like the like using Teams within Autopilot, or using Autopilot within Teams rather. You can actually demo. Yeah, if you go scroll down to preview it right above
Uh-huh.
the orange button, right under
Yep.
yeah,
Got it.
yeah. And yeah, if you put in your name, Evan.
Okay. Yeah. No, I'm going to do this. Wow. Something I learned, new learn. I didn't know this was a new site, and looks like it's a ton of great content and opportunities to dive in and get yourself up to speed. Congratulations.
Thank you. Yeah, there's a bunch of great interactive experiences there to make some of this marketing language more tangible for people. So definitely encourage your audience to check it out and see how Autopilot can show up for them both within teams and for some other use cases we have there.
Yeah, no, well done. Thanks so much for taking time away from the show, and onwards and upwards. Everyone, check out UiPath at Microsoft Ignite, and check them out at their session today and at the booth all week. Take care, Joe. Thanks for joining.
Thanks so much, Evan. Take care.